I'm not going to lie, I was very emotional seeing the Klay intro. As a basketball player and fan, if you know that feeling, you know Klay Day was special. I want to analyze how Klay Thompson's return to Chase Center changes the Warriors' offense and some specific breakdowns on how the Cavs were playing defense. Keep in mind that Draymond did not play, and overall is a low-scoring game featuring two of the NBA's top defenses. Seeing Klay hunt for a shot from the get-go and dribble so much was expected but not going to be the norm. Here are some of the offensive sets the Warriors ran for Klay and the effects of his gravity due to his shooting ability. I love how the Warriors ran the first play for Klay coming off the left corner to go to his strong right-hand curl. JTA sets a solid screen for him to catch the ball, but here you can see Steph acting as a decoy, bringing his man out of the paint. We've seen Klay pull up for a mid-range countless times. If he did not get the pass here from Wiggins, he can also find Steph curling through a second JTA screen. Jarrett Allen rotates too late as Looney is technically a non-shooter here, and Klay goes strong to the hoop for a tough floater for his first bucket in 2.5 years. This is every defense's worst nightmare in the Dubs' dream fast break, when usually Draymond would grab the rebound and push. Here we have JTA instead run the ball and two of the greatest shooters sliding to beyond the arc. The Cavs had no options but stick close to both of them, as these guys' gravity sometimes allowed the ball handler to go all the way to the hoop even. Instead, JTA has two options here, and goes with Steph for a slightly contested but in rhythm three. This is probably my favorite play of the game and a Warriors staple. Here we have a dribble handoff, but because of Klay's shooting ability, the Cavs decide to either switch or double 30 feet away from the basket. Otto Porter Jr. fakes this and drives to the open area in front of him, and often we would see Dre and JTA do this for Steph as well. In a position to score, Jarrett Allen has to rotate up. However, this allows his man and Looney to set a back screen to Darius Garland, where Porter finds a wide open Jordan Poole for a three. An absolutely brilliant play first started off the ball with Klay Thompson. The highlight of the game came when Klay ISO'd against Jarrett Allen and showed his handles and how he had not lost a step. We don't often see him ISO, but it helps when the weak side is full of strong shooters who stretch the floor. This allows Klay to drive to the open paint with an explosive finish. Klay's first three-pointer came from a baseline drive. Having a knockdown shooter in Klay would cause rotation nightmares in this scenario. Here, Chetty Osman is responsible to rotate to two weak side shooters, ideally rotating to the corner first. Even though Wiggins is having a tremendous year at the three, defenders are not used to having Klay Thompson open as well. This actually is Darius Garland's next rotation, however his job is to not leave Steph Curry. This is a clear luxury in the Warriors roster, and Klay knocks down a wide open look. And Klay's starting to feel himself. The Warriors were clearly letting Klay ISO every time a Cavalier big ended up switching on him, which was often this game. Here he takes Markkanen off the dribble going to his left, and notice once again the luxury the Dubs have by planting shooters in the strong side and corners. Again, they would not help off Wiggins and Curry, and even though we know Klay isn't the quickest, he has enough fundamentals and is tall enough, even against a 7-footer, to pull up a slight fadeaway mid-range going to his left. This is a bucket every time. I feel like the transition three is what we've been missing most from the Dubs the last 2 years. Off a steal, JTA pushes hard, and we see Draymond has often done this with the trailing Steph or Klay. Here Klay does not go the traditional route towards the rim, but drifts towards the three-point line. Big men are used to dropping back, and Markkanen falls for this trap. This will give defenses nightmares to stop the Warriors. Nothing like a momentum-boosting transition three. GP2 is absolutely stoked. Klay's last bucket was no surprise a three-pointer, where the Warriors often run this misdirection play for Steph and Wiggins to come off a screen to go to the right. But Looney quickly resets the screen, allowing Klay to go to his left. The Cavs were playing off Looney the entire night, but here Jarrett Allen has dropped too far, allowing the Warriors to take advantage of this pull-up three. So there you have it. Hope you guys liked my breakdown of Klay's first game back. Steph had a decent bounce-back game as well, and I expect more efficient games from Klay instead of shooting everything he touched, but I respect his aggression and coming out firing. Draymond coming back will also make everybody's jobs easier, and I'm looking forward to greater spacing and ball movement within the Warriors offense. Hope you guys enjoyed and leave a comment or suggestion below.